U-turn. HGVs can't make a U-turn, but I can. So here we go, back on the A60. City. We're currently on the A60. Lights could change. I'm ready to stop if they do. Turning right up ahead, so I'm going to get in the right hand lane, so I'll check the mirrors, the signal and position to the right, into second gear, slow my car down and leave a gap to the car in front. Back to BBC Roundabout. We're going to be taking the third exit and then we'll be turning right immediately. So I'll position in the far right hand lane. As I get into this lane, you'll see that the lane opens up to 2 lanes. I'm going to follow the long lines to my left, and then I'm in the correct lane per lane discipline. I want to turn right. This lane goes 2 ways, ahead and right. I'm going to signal up for right, and then gently go round. So I see ahead in my lane there's a parked vehicle. I'm going to check my mirrors and signal. I'm just waiting for traffic to give way. And I'll check my blind spot and gently go round. I'm actually going to be turning right up ahead. So mirrors, signal. I could use the left hand lane, but I'm going to use the right. Because there's a large vehicle on the left. Now he might cut he's definitely going to cut the corner, so I'm going to stay behind him as we go around the bend. Yeah, and that's important, so I'll just stay slow. He's watching me, I'm watching him, and now that he's back in his lane, I can continue forwards. I'm going to stay behind him because I can't really overtake him, and he's now going probably beyond the speed limit at 30. Speed limit's changing to 40 now, so I'll accelerate. I'm going to be going right at the roundabout up ahead, following signs for Derby and Grantham, so I'm staying in the right hand lane. Going to be staying in the far right hand lane because I know I'm going to need the right hand lane when I come off the roundabout. Okay, so basically just working our way in and out of the city. As I go around, I have to be careful I select the correct lane on exit, which is going to be the second lane from the left, because that is my right hand lane to leave. Okay, if I was in left lane on approach, then I leave So as we go back, we'll be doing another part of the city. Following the road round the bend to the right. Now this is 2 lanes in a way, so I'm just going to position my car to the right, just so that cars know that I'm actually going right and not straight ahead. So I'm going to slow the car right down, keep the car tight in the bend, and then check mirrors, accelerate as I leave the bend. Okay, so see a green sign saying City Centre A60. So that's where we're going. Going to 3rd gear for this bend here. And staying at about 20 miles an hour. Now we're turning right for the city centre. Now check the lanes. Both lanes go right, but the left-hand lane has 2 ways. So I'm going to signal up for right to tell people I'm actually going this way, because it could go left as well. When you're approaching a junction to turn right, especially if it's a bigger junction, check that the left-hand lane, check whether or not the left-hand lane goes right as well. Sometimes it does, and if it does, you should be in that lane. Checking and going. So watching my position as I go round to the right, making sure I position near the curb and away from the lane to my right. And I'm just following the road ahead. I'm going to be going via Nottingham Station. The lane I want is partially blocked, so I'm just going to stay this lane, and then after this large vehicle I'm then going to go into left-hand lane. So mirrors, signal, position, I'm off the gas so that I've got control to go around the bend. Lights are still green. There's 2 lanes in this bit of road, so I'll just check my mirrors and continued. My position in the left. Looking ahead, the lights are red. And the left-hand lane seems a bit more busy with traffic, so I'm going to go into the right-hand lane. Knowing that I'm going to need the right-hand lane shortly anyway. It's quite a sharp bend as we pass Nottingham Station on the right. So I'm going to go into 3rd gear, just stay slow. I'm going to position into the bend so that I'm not impeding traffic to my left. Then the bend is going to go to the right, the road's going to go to the right. So here I want to make sure I keep the car to the right as I go around. Just adjusting my steering in line with the curb. Then we'll continue. Up ahead we'll be turning right, going towards Marion Way. As we approach the junction, there's 2 lanes. I'm going to position in the left-hand lane. Slow the car right down, and then stop about a car length away. Checking all mirrors and going slowly forwards. got 2 lanes going into the junction, and we know that with large junctions it doesn't necessarily stay as 2 lanes. As you can see, the lanes are narrowing down to 1. Check my rears and my blind spot to make sure nothing is overtaking me, and then I can concentrate on the road ahead. Now the lights have just changed to green, so I'm just giving traffic time to speed up, and then I will speed up myself. And the next set of lights I'll be turning right. DPD van is quite slow. I want to stay well behind him so that I can see what's going on in front of him. So check my mirrors, the signal. And with this turn, again, position is crucial. Make sure you go close to the curb, then gently steer to the right, staying in your lane, staying off the gas as you do so. Alright, and then we gently just arrive at the line. So we're the other side of Broadmarsh now. The other side of the city. And with city driving, you're always on the lookout for an increase in activity. So more pedestrians, more cyclists, more buses, more of everything really. And as you can see, there's a pedestrian crossing that's just gone red. So mirrors off the gas, 2nd gear and slow. Now 1st gear. I might just balance my pedals until the lights go green, which they do. Didn't put my handbrake on then because I knew the lights would change. Got a junction coming up. Those lights are probably going to be red by the time I reach them, so I'm not going to rush. And there's a big hump as well, so there's every chance I'll have to stop at the line. Well, looks like we got lucky. No problem. Continue then. I'm going to need the right-hand lane, so check my mirrors, signal up for right. Someone's just pushed the button or attempted to at the crossing, and the lights stayed green. So as you can see, it's traffic light after traffic light after traffic light. You need to be ready for them to change. Obviously, if you're too close, like I was just now, then don't stop, because you might end up over the line. Alright, there's what we call the 2 car length rule. If you're within 2 car lengths, then continue going, because it's safer to continue than to, and again, same thing there, it's safer to continue. Under this one, I was outside of 2 car lengths, so I was able to stop at the line. So flashing amber light, pedestrians just come from my blind spot to walk across the road, and check my mirrors and my blind spot as I move off. We're on Upper Parliament Street, particularly hazardous part road, because this is probably dead centre of the city. Red light's been pushed, red button's been pushed on the traffic light, so it could change. That one didn't, but this one could. So I'm just staying in 2nd gear, ready to stop. Already checked behind me. They do change as I'm getting close to the line, and again, 2 car length rule. 2 car rule. And that's what we continue to exercise as we see lots of pedestrians on the left. Let's go through this little section of road. And I'm mindful of the fact that pedestrians may attempt to cross even though the light is not green for them. For pedestrians in the road, you must stop and allow them to pass safely. They are the vulnerable road users amongst us. So we're heading along South Sherwood Street towards Shakespeare Street. It's passing Nottingham Trent Uni on the left. So naturally there'll be lots of university students about on top of normal pedestrian traffic. So this is a one-way system. You can see the signs telling us that. 2 lanes going the same way. Going round the bend to the right. Now there's a car that's just stopped in the lane on the left, so I'm going to check my mirrors and signal, go into the right hand lane, and then I'll move back into left-hand lane. That's why you should always check your road ahead, even if it's round a bend, before you accelerate. Looking out for pedestrians constantly. I'm following the road to the left onto Mansfield Road, and then I'll be turning right shortly. So if you're on the sat nav, it may say turn left and then right. When the sat nav gives two instructions or directions close together, then position, in that example, position to the right immediately around the bend or around the corner or wherever you are. Alright, now bus has stopped on left, which means this blue car is going to come out in front of me. I'll just stay slow. Up ahead, I'll be turning right at the traffic lights. Now, that junction at the traffic lights is a box junction. It's got a yellow box in it. So I'll need to check that the road ahead is clear and the road to the right is clear before I start turning right. So I'm watching the taxi to see how he behaves. Alright, I can fit in behind him in this box. And I've got a filter light now, see the green arrow. And I'm going to be turning right immediately, so I'm going into the right-hand lane. And it's a right-only lane. Now these lights, if we exercise the two-car rule, i.e. only two vehicles should be in the middle of the junction before we move over the line, then we're not going to get very far. Even the van in front of me hasn't really moved. So we're just going to wait. Now I can't tell at the moment if there's a vehicle in front of him, but I'll let him move away first before I move, just so I can assess if I'm going to have space when I get over the line. Again, we're just anticipating how we're going to position ourselves in the middle of these junctions, these big junctions. All right, last thing you want is to get in the middle of the junction and find you're stopped on the crossing at the junction, and then the lights go back to red while you're still waiting to turn right. Okay, it's going to be unsafe. You'll be in the way of traffic that's started to move from the right and probably the left as well. And not to mention, if you do that on your test, it would not be a positive result for you. So I've let the van go ahead, and now I'm going to go to the line. Let's see if the van clears. If he clears, I'll move. Yes. Because he's quite long, that's why I didn't really want to go into the middle of the junction. And that's how you approach your traffic light controlled junctions. So with city driving, expect lots of traffic and lots of cars changing lanes without warning sometimes. So you may see that once or twice along this street, which is Huntington Street. Right, so we're going to go cautiously forward. Just rolling, keeping the clutch down and keeping a distance to the vehicle in front. Constantly looking for space and vision. Now notice how this pedestrian's just crossed in an inappropriate place, and that's what you've got to look out for when you move off, especially near a crossing. Look for pedestrians crossing from your blind spot, whether either on the right or the left. So I see some yellow signs. If you know your signs, you know that this is telling me that my lane is blocked up ahead, so I'm going to need to move to the right. So I'll wait till I'm moving before I try and get into the lane on the right. It will just be easier changing lanes while moving rather than trying to change lanes from a standing start. Okay, so I'll get my car moving. I'll check my mirrors, I'll put the signal on. I'm going to go into second gear. I'm just going to gently look at what the van's doing behind me. He's staying slow, checking ahead, making sure that traffic is still moving as I get into this lane. last thing you want to do is accelerate while changing lanes, having not checked ahead, because traffic might well have stopped, especially in the city where traffic is stop and start. So I'll let these large vehicles get away, then I want to see the road ahead and see what's happening. So traffic seems to be moving okay. These lights are green, 2-car rule, and within the 2 cars, so I'm going to continue. And I'm going to go into the left-hand lane, so there is signal position. And slow my car down. Around, check mirrors, and go. So I've got vehicles moving into this lane, maybe because someone was turning right into the petrol station, don't know. I'm just staying slow because there's quite a queue of traffic ahead of me. It's very slow moving. So I'm just going to increase the distance I've got to the vehicle in front of me, so I can just have better reaction time if traffic does suddenly slow or stop. Looking at this lane, notice how it moves right. It's not a change of lane, the lane is actually moved to the right, so you just move with it, alright? And it takes you past the bus lane on the left, which then changes into a normal lane. As you can see, that lane is blocked with construction works, road works. I'm going to be turning left, so I'm back into left-hand lane where it's available, and then just going to go into this road here, Carlton Road, and I'm going to want to be turning right, so check my mirrors and go into first gear. Now at this junction I can't turn right, but at the next one I'm going to. So it's a good idea to position early rather than late. If you position late for your right turn, you might as well stay in the left and go the wrong way, because it's safer than trying to cut across lanes at a late stage. So I'll check my mirrors and I'll just signal and position to the additional right hand lane that's come up and approach to this junction. So the lights are green, and my lane, traffic light for my lane is green as well, so I know I can turn to the right. Now this is a two-way street currently, and I'm going around the bend, and as we go around the bend it turns into a one-way street. You can see the blue signs, and I'm going to position to the left because I want the left-hand lane in this one-way street. And I'll stay slow because there's a zebra crossing and traffic was queuing for that crossing. I'll just check there's nothing else crossing it, and there's just a hazard sign that's just gone out of shot, which tells me it's back to a two-way traffic. At the traffic lights I'll be turning right, so I've jumped my mirrors on position in the right hand lane. Main mirror, right mirror signal up for right. Didn't want to put my signal on earlier because I was a bit far away. Once again turning right at traffic lights. There's no road markings here, so I have to gauge the middle of the junction and the best point of turn to use when turning right. I'll need to keep my car very straight and my wheels straight so that I don't impede traffic that is going to be coming the other way, opposing traffic. So I'll go cautiously forward. There's no rush because I'll need to give way to oncoming traffic anyway. So going up to the middle of the junction, I want to line up roughly with the island to my right, the crossing island to my right, and it's about there. and I'll just wait, looking at the green light, and I'm looking for an amber light or a gap in the traffic. So we'll look ahead, we'll look right, we see the amber light, so I want traffic to stop, and then once they've cleared, I'm going to go quickly. Out of the junction. So up ahead we're going to be bearing left. Obviously the sign says you can only turn left. Lights are green, 2-car rule, and within 2 cars, so I'm going to continue. I'll stay in the far left lane because I'm going to be going left at BBC Roundabout. First exit the roundabout. Got a slow moving vehicle ahead. It's got its flashing amber beacons, which means it's going to be slower than other traffic. I'm not going to overtake him because I'm going to be turning left. There's 3 things about overtaking: it should be safe, legal and necessary. In my case it's not going to be necessary because I'm going to be turning left shortly anyway. So I'm just going to let him continue. So I've stopped well back from him so that I can see the traffic lights and I can see a bit of a road ahead. Lights are now green. I'll check my mirrors and give this vehicle time to move off. He's turning left and I'm going to now continue. Alright, you see that a car dived into the lane in front of me, and that's what you've got to expect with, you know, well, wherever you are, but particularly with city driving. I'm going to be turning left, so I'm looking for the filter light at this junction, green arrow, which will be coming on in the next few seconds. So I stopped way back so I can actually see it. There's 2 filter lights, but this is the first one, and I'll focus on that. So it should come on now. There it is. Check my mirrors and see if the white car's noticed the filter light he has. Round we go. So I'm going to be stopping on the left. So I'll check my mirrors, signal down for left, gently brake so that I don't shock anyone behind me. And then stop. Secure the car. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Alright, lots of quirks with city driving. As you can see, it's quite intense with lots of traffic, lots of pedestrians, and it's very stop-start in the city as well, very slow moving, so a lot of first gear, second gear kind of movement. Okay, so like the video, push the like button if you can, and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you.